Friends from across the country, showing every Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. only on GBC 24.
Good evening and welcome to my journey. My name is Theodora Amedeto. Please allow me to take you on a journey from home to work for us to share experiences. After that, let us find out what we as individuals and the government can do to make our journeys to our workplaces less stressful and more productive. Here are some sounds and sights on my journey from somewhere on the Aplautema stretch to Accra.
It's 5:30 a.m. and I'm good to hit the road to work. This means I've been up for an hour or two earlier to take care of some house chores before I leave. My journey began somewhere on the Aplautema road. There is a lot to feast my eyes on, though tiresome sometimes. It can also be exciting. Come along with me. Lots of people, including students and even people, set out from home quite early so as to beat the gridlock and make it to their destinations in time. Some set out as early as 4 a.m. or even earlier. This schoolboy obviously had to help his mother before going to school, and this mother is also putting her children in shape for school. Some commuters have already reached their destinations when it's not even 6 a.m. yet. One wonders when this woman and others left home. At the barrier popularly called Jerusalem Gate, vehicular traffic can become a tiresome jam. Once one leaves home early, one can sail through, leaving the bottleneck behind. The Motorway roundabout is already buzzing with activities. Commuters on their heels, vendors of assorted food items cajoling buyers, and drivers of commercial vehicles at their usual best stop, pick and drop moves. Others also drive on the shoulders of the road, oblivious of the danger they pose to pedestrians. The Motorway roundabout expansion project is also progressing steadily. Though it causes inconveniences sometimes, the end result is believed far outweigh the hassle commuters are currently bearing. But you can trust drivers, especially the commercial ones. They would always create their own access route to dodge the traffic, as they always would say. If you are a private car driver, don't worry. Just locate the commercial drivers and you are good to go. But be careful if your car is not high enough and if it is newly registered, because you are sure to get some scratches or bumps along your journey. This is the situation just a few meters after the Tama toll booth. Due to the traffic congestions that have been associated with the expansion project at the roundabout, yours truly spotted cars from Ashaiman going to Tema, as well as those from Tema going to Accra, created access routes for their own convenience. This improvising is not the best and can be dangerous. But can they be blamed? People as well as students must make it to work and school at all costs and on time too. But with all these, are people able to make it at least just in time for the day? Or are there other hindrances as to why a student like Idris Abdul Fattah would be late to school?
Are you not late to school?
I'm late to school.
Why?
There was shortage of water in Ashama.
Which side of Ashama do you live in?
Middle East.
Middle East.
Yes.
So how often do you have shortage of water in the Middle East?
And they locked the pipe 3 days ago, and they didn't announce it before locking the pipe, so we take it like that.
So since then, you've not had water?
Yes.
So this morning, where did you get water before you?
I went and bought pure water, 3 bags.
While some were finding access routes, others were struggling to catch a bus to be able to get to their destinations on time. Now we hit the motorway running. Fast-paced cars racing past, and slower ones seem not moving fast enough. Ironically, both fast and slow cars meet again and screech to a halt. And one would ask, what was the speed for in the first place? On that stretch noted to be accident-prone, one would hardly pass without spotting a car that has been involved in an accident. As to whether this accident happened the previous night or in the very early hours of the day, only victims and eyewitnesses can tell. Traffic has already built up at the Tetekwashi interchange, the kind they call bumper to bumper. That's where some impatient drivers who just cannot wait their turn in the traffic try to outsmart others. They would run ahead of other cars just to have their way. And some others would always choose the wrong lane and then try to force their way rudely into the right lane, as if they do not know the use of their indicator lights. Sliced fruits, fried egg and bread sandwiches called chibom sellers were on the beat as usual, offering options to those who cannot buy their favorite kenke and wache, probably due to the early rush to leave home. The story is no different through the airport to the 37 military hospital stretch, as traffic builds up, clears, and allowing us passage. At the main bus terminal on the 37 military hospital road, as usual, commuters get on or off-board commercial vehicles that either stop on the main road or at the bus stop, creating traffic jam. Some commuters shared their experiences with us.
Every morning I have to wake up at 5 o'clock, and then by the time I finish bathing and dressing up, it will be 5:30. Because I have to wake up early because of traffic. Because I'll be in traffic for like 1.5 hours before I get to my workplace.
So when you get to work late, what do your superiors say?
Okay, my superior is aware of my problem. Like, she knows that I stay far from my workplace. So normally she's aware that there is traffic here. So yeah, she's aware, so she doesn't complain much.
By 4, I should be awake to prepare his food, his water, his dress for school. And I make sure I drop him out at school before 7 and make sure I get to work before 8. I have to do it. Nobody will do it for me. If I want the best for myself and the best for my children, then I have no option than to do it for them.
Half of the terminal there have been taken over by taxi drivers who claim they are just helping make life easy for commuters. However, the government has always been on their backs with a whip for illegally occupying the terminal.
We know this place is a bus stop and cars are not supposed to park here for more than 5 minutes. It is not our wish to occupy this place, but because we don't get passengers in other areas, that's why we come here. We are not insisting that this place should be converted into a station. We wish the place could be marked and a place apportioned to us so that the taxis can come in batches of 10 at a time. We are also ready to pay tax, just as it is required of every worker. The
trend of leaving home at dawn and getting back at dusk have affected society in many ways. People spend most of their lifetime on the road at the expense of a well-rested body and bonding with family members. It affects the eating patterns of people greatly. Most people, including children, now hardly enjoy healthy home-cooked meals. The alternatives are cocoa and kose or bread, wache, kenke or fried egg and bread, with each accompanying assorted beverages and many others. The health implications, especially on children, are only known when they are taken ill. The trend also affects productivity at work and at school. Some commuters believed that if more of the Ayalolo buses are dispatched into more areas and on their dedicated lanes, it would help reduce the stress associated with their daily commute to work and back home.
I suggest the government to bring more buses into the system. I think the more the buses, it will reduce traffic and stress as well. Because if some of us will get straight buses from Abekan, passing through Achimota overhead to Jolu, then to ministries, I think it will help us very, very well because it's not easy.
I wish the government brings some of the Ayalolo bus so that we can get to work early.
Sure, it may not be easy, but let us all look for ways to reduce the stress associated with our journeys to our various workplaces and schools. That has been my journey from home somewhere on the Aflautama Road to work. My work starts at 7 a.m. and closes as and when my news story is ready for broadcast. As my boss would always say, a journalist has a reporting time to work but has no closing time. I leave home early enough to be able to make it before 7 a.m. Obviously, I'm not alone. Others report to their various workplaces even earlier than I do. One probably may get to work already tired or stressed, which may affect concentration and productivity.